Welcome to Office Hours with me, Dr. Kylie Bragdon, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the sometimes very ugly sides of leadership. Now, as a giant reminder, every single episode, I answer a new question from one of you. So, no matter how big or small your leadership role might be, if you're facing a challenge, be sure to leave those questions in the Google form included in the links below. Now, for the month of November, we're focusing all of our attention on this idea of fundraising, because a good proportion of nonprofits receive about 25% of their donations for the year in the month of December. I'm hopeful that I can teach you a few tricks that will make those end of year campaigns just a little bit more successful. So let's jump into today's question. Hi, I'm a 43-year-old director of a small, relatively new educational nonprofit. We operate on a shoestring budget, and private donations are what keep us going, right? I'm incredibly grateful for our board. They're passionate, dedicated, and honestly, the reason we're still open. But here's the part I struggle with. They also donate a lot of their own money. At every fundraiser, every event, it feels like the same 8 people stepping up over and over. I'm thankful, but I'm also guilty. I don't want our success to rest on the shoulders of just a handful of people, and I worry that continuing to rely on them could eventually create financial strain on them. So how do I make sure we raise the money we need without over-relying on the same donor group? This is a very relatable situation. So if you are in a leadership role in a new nonprofit that's less than 5 years old, I will say, it's going to be typical for you to have a really strong base of people who are supporting you. That's very, very typical. And typically in those situations, many of those individuals who are involved want to put their money where their mouth is because they care about the thing that they're working on, the thing that you are working to support. Now, as a director, as someone who's actually been in a similar situation, I can understand why you might feel guilty, but you need to remember you're the director of that organization. You are not those people's accountants. You don't know what they have for money, and it's not your responsibility to control what they do with that money. It's simply your responsibility to be gracious when they're willing to share it. So please, you've got to take the guilt out of this circumstance, because I've learned over the years that people can and want to donate, and if they're able to, you let them. I think it would be a negative circumstance if you brought this up and were like, no, please don't. No, be gracious, be kind, but never try and decide what people are capable of. That can be offensive, quite frankly. Now, I can understand why you might want to expand, however, the number of donors that are providing to this nonprofit. You're right, 8 people is not enough to sustain an organization for long term. Maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 even. You have some really high profile donors. But at the end of the day, the more the merrier in regards to fundraising and donating. So the next time you have a fundraiser or a board meeting, this is actually what I would do. I would explain to this team that you appreciate them. They've done a great job supporting the organization so far. For this upcoming campaign, they can do X, Y, or Z. But the thing that would be most helpful, you gotta spell it out for them. The thing that would be most helpful for me would be if you could connect me with X number of potential donors. Introduce me. Introduce me to a number of donors. It could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 10. You get to decide what number you want to pose to them. Maybe start low, just to make sure that that's something that they can do, the skills that they have. But you could ask for the connections, because chances are these people are connected. They have friends who have friends who have friends who have money, and the more that you connect with those people, the better off the organization is going to be long term. So make the request, make sure it's very clear and concise, and make sure they understand why it's so important to do. So again, thank you so much for writing in. Make sure if you have a question that you use the Google form, send in the question. I need the questions. And until next time, everyone, keep leading, because remember, somebody stinking has to.